Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating relationship between immunity, psyche, and overall health, tracing their interconnected roles from ancient wisdom to modern science. And it is my hope that at the very least, you open your mind to a refreshing, empowering new way to approach your health. I'm Eli Abela, Biohacking Pioneer of the Philippines and GHK Philippines founder. GHK stands for Germanische Heilkunde, or Germanic Healing Knowledge. My journey has led me to explore the immense power of the human body and mind, focusing on how we can optimize health, performance, and longevity by tapping into our innate biological intelligence. As a Germanische Heilkunde certified consultant and educator, I've spent the past 3 years using GHK as a framework and teaching others on how to understand the natural biological laws that govern our health. In this session, we'll explore the deep connection between immunity and psyche in shaping health. Beginning with foundational definitions, we'll trace how ancient and modern societies have understood immunity and the critical role of the psyche in overall health. And this sets the stage for Dr. Rike Geerthammer's insights into the psyche-brain organ connection, showing how emotional conflicts can manifest in the body, forming the basis of Germanische Heilkunde, or Germanic healing knowledge. Our goal today is to build a more integrated understanding of health rooted in these profound ideas. If I asked you or any person on the street, what is immunity? You would most likely find the answer that it is our body's natural defense system, protecting us from infections, diseases, and foreign invaders. In today's terms, we understand immunity to be divided into 2 types. Innate immunity, the immediate non-specific response that we were born with. Again, the idea of foreign invaders that we need to protect ourselves from. And adaptive immunity, which develops as we're exposed to new pathogens. Now, the idea was always to protect ourselves from the danger of harmful substances that we cannot see coming. We are warding off danger from disease because we look at it as harmful. Why is it harmful? Because it can kill us. When we look at innate immunity, we look at it as our body's immediate non-specific defense system against pathogens, working as the first barrier against infections. It includes an intricate network of cells and organs such as the skin, mucous membranes, epithelial barriers, and ninja killer cells. And what are these harmful substances? Well, of course, fungi, parasites, bacteria, viruses, and toxins. These foreign invaders that cause harmful diseases that can kill us. And what of these immune cells? Macrophages, dendritic cells, and natural killer cells rapidly detect and attack pathogens, limiting infection spread. Lymph nodes and the spleen coordinate this response, paving the way for adaptive immunity if needed. So what is adaptive immunity? A specialized defense system that builds over time, allowing the body to target specific pathogens. When exposed to new invaders, these cells create antibodies tailored to neutralize them. And these antibodies help remember pathogens for faster, stronger responses to future infections, forming the foundation of long-lasting immunity, whether from prior infection or vaccination. And this idea of building immunity, the idea of building resistance or becoming stronger in the fight against disease has become a global phenomenon. Ancient civilizations like those in Egypt, China, and India sought to strengthen immunity through herbal remedies, spiritual practices, and dietary guidelines, believing in a natural balance that safeguarded health. Even then, there was already the mind, body, and spirit connection having relevance to overall health. In the Middle Ages, concepts like quarantine and sanitation emerged in response to widespread plagues, recognizing the importance of containing disease. The Black Death was devastating, killing 30 to 50% of Europe's population between 1348 and 1351, with 75 to 200 million lives lost. In response to Europe's smallpox epidemics, Dr. Edward Jenner created the first vaccine in 1796. Observing that the cowpox exposure prevented smallpox, he used cowpox to successfully inoculate against the deadly disease, pioneering vaccination. Smallpox claimed the lives of many royals, including significant figures such as King Louis XV of France, Habsburg Emperor Joseph I, Queen Mary II of England, and Russia's Tsar Peter II. The disease also affected nobility beyond Europe, reaching rulers in countries like Ethiopia, China, and Japan. So there was really this drive to prevent and eradicate disease, looking at disease as the enemy. And these advancements transformed immunity from a largely mysterious force into a targeted scientific approach. Over time, immunity equates to disease prevention. And today, global health initiatives continue to build on this legacy, promoting vaccination, nutrition, and hygiene as foundations for a resilient immune system. And it has gone viral, pun intended. The craze to stop disease and build immunity is such a marketable concept. Adaptive immunity has become a worldwide craze, as global health efforts to strengthen immunity have been a major focus for international organizations and governments, investing billions in initiatives like vaccination campaigns, sanitation improvements, and disease prevention programs. Organizations such as the World Health Organization and the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization have collectively invested over $10 billion annually to enhance global immunization coverage, reducing diseases like polio, measles, and the flu. In 2020 alone, the United Nations and WHO allocated $2 billion to support global vaccination drives during the COVID-19 pandemic, showcasing the importance and financial commitment toward fostering a resilient immune system worldwide. And of course, because of the desperation during the COVID pandemic, there came an explosion in the biohacking and alternative health field in preventing disease and building immunity. Special thanks to pioneers like my mentor, Dave Asprey, and others like Ben Greenfield and Peter Attia. And now even Tony Robbins is into it, having just written a book called Life Force. When we look at the definition of biohacking, we look at it as manipulating your external internal environment to take full control of your biology instead of letting it control you. Biohacking, of course, isn't just for men. Pioneering women like Carrie Bennett, Natalie Needham, Primal Bod Candy Fraser, and myself are driving the movement forward with a special focus on optimizing women's health. We are trailblazers, empowering women to take control of their biology, ensuring that vitality, performance, and optimal health are achievable for every phase of our lives. And it's all about control. You control your biology so it doesn't control you. Self-empowerment, self-responsibility, and quantification. I am in charge of my own health. Since the pandemic demonstrated how the current health paradigm is not enough, so let's take our health into our own hands. I've been biohacking and controlling my own health and immunity through machines, free biohacks like breathwork, cold showers, time nutrition, circadian optimization, a little bit of supplementation, mindset techniques, and emotional regulation tools since 2015. Now, the beauty of biohackers is that we are working on innate immunity, not just adaptive immunity. We believe that the body has everything it needs to heal itself and put itself back together. We use biohacking simply to support the system and to provide fuel to these innate processes already in place. And so we look at inflammation as a wonderful thing and a sign that the body is doing what it's supposed to keep us alive. However, biohacking and alternative health movements also look at pathogens, bacteria, viruses as something to kill, fight, or destroy. Yes, we have innate immunity in place, and they are there to assassinate pathogens that cause disease and can kill us. Again, though biohackers and alternative health enthusiasts believe in innate immunity, it's still about disease prevention. Disease is bad. As biohackers, we obsess over a specialized form of ninja squad called T cells, which, when they learn about pathogens, They hold a memory so that they can kill the same pathogens that infect the organism in the future. So it's some kind of Jedi cells that are present in the body and prevent disease this way. So we want to support the power of these cells to assassinate these pathogens. And of course, the market for natural immunity is even bigger than the pharmaceutical industry, and the potential is exploding every year. Yes, people woke up during the pandemic and they got into the natural healing, but they're actually spending more for their immunity and disease prevention. But that's okay because it's organic and natural, so it's worth it. Within this market, dietary supplements alone accounted for about $140 billion in 2020, with significant investments in immune-boosting products like vitamin C and D, probiotics, and adaptogens. They're getting into the keto diet, and eating meat all day, every day, is not cheap at all for the average Filipino. People are eating nothing but organic, and we all know how much organic puts a hole in our pockets. But it's worth it because it's so good for us, right? They're also spending for gadgets and Oura rings that are not cheap, but so worth it. And there are gadgets embedded every hour of the day somewhere in the world, just because the potential for biohacking is even bigger, estimated at $4.9 trillion by 2025. I think we would all agree that's a real cash cow right there. The beauty about biohacking is that it's holistic. It uses nature, science, technology, and personalized health practices to boost well-being. It kind of brought back ancient wisdom. In fact, we say that the ancients were the original biohackers because they really integrated mind, body, and spirit health, and they can never be separated if we want the best positive outcome. Somehow we lost that with modern medicine, but biohacking made it cool again. And I'm sure a lot of you have used life hacks in your wellness practices like meditation and breath work and gratitude journaling. Well, even plant medicine journeys, ayahuasca, or psychedelics. And hey, you actually have the word psyche in there. And these approaches all recognize the vital need for psyche balance to achieve optimal health.